So this weekend I've come down with a cold, but I still wanted to record something. So this episode we will take things nice and slowly, and we'll just have a nice chill time. And we only have one objective. I want to build a shop. So a while back I built this Colourlympics fan shop where people in the community could come along, they could take one of these banners and leave behind a donation. And that worked really well. We got lots of people coming over here. Some colours got a bit more support than the others. But it was lovely to see, and I want to build a bigger version of this today. So we will have more merchandise than just banners. You know, there's a lot of colour themed things that we can sell. I also want to have a nicer way to show off what has been donated. And maybe we'll have like a live scoreboard and some books that people can write in and stuff like that. I want it to be something where the community can really interact. But one thing you may notice with all of these donation boxes is that every colour got at least one block of diamond. So my idea for the shop build is we will take one diamond block from each donation box and let that colour spend those diamonds on blocks for the shop. So we will end up spending 72 diamonds in the shopping district here, and we will use all of those blocks, or at least most of them, in designing a shop. It will probably be an ugly shop with the combination of colours, but I think it'll be a fun process. So here we go, my shopping bags are all prepared. Now it's time to tour the shopping district. So our shopping district here is split into these different sections. So where we currently are and where my Ender Chest shop is, this is like the smaller shops, the pop-up shops. Then we have some medium shops over here, which is probably where I want to build my shop. We've got some bigger shops over there, absolutely massive ones off in the distance here. And then there is a mall as well that we can check out. So there's a lot of shops to see. I'm just going to take my time, go around, and then decide on what to buy. I think we can find some nicer orange blocks than granite. Oh, this is fun. Plushies. Can I justify spending some of these diamonds on plushies? No, we can find better things. Redstone blocks could be interesting. I'll think about that one. We could spend all of our budget on a block that's not just one colour. Okay, never mind. We could buy one block of diamond for 9 diamonds. I'm not too sure cyan or blue would appreciate that. And if you're curious, for my base design, I think I count diamonds as being blue. Because cyan has a lot of options like, the warped blocks and the oxidized copper and skulk and stuff like that. Whereas blue is actually quite limited. So anything that's light blue like ice or dark blue like lapis, I would count under blue rather than cyan. Okay, we could afford one trident. As tempting as that is, we'll have to pass for now. Okay, gold blocks here. This is like the most yellow of yellow blocks. So I'm going to lock in our very first sale and we will buy some gold. We'll be able to use that as a detail somewhere. Now, if I can simply craft the block into other blocks that fit, that would be fine. So I could use this for the pink section. I think wood is going to be very handy, but I'll leave the wood until later. Because I don't know what colours I'm going to have left over. And there are woods in most colours. Okay, before we go to the medium shop area, I do want to check out the mall over here. And I do really love this brutalist mall design. One of my favourite things when it comes to compilation builds, so here we've got a bunch of plots that different people can build in. I like the plots being quite plain. So you've got this mostly grey border here. And what that means is no matter what people put inside the shop, it will pop. Right, so you end up with this, vibrant, multicoloured interior of a mall, when from the outside, it doesn't look like you would get that. It looks like it's a bit plain, it looks like it's a bit grim, and then you come inside and you get that effect, that shock value of seeing all the really cool shops. So I really like what Matthew did with this. And I think malls that you can get lost in is, I don't know, I like that. It's maybe not the most practical, but I think any shop area that encourages exploration means that you're actually going to pay attention to the shops that you see a bit more. So bamboo's an interesting one because it starts off green. We could definitely use this in the lime section, but we could have yellow by it in order to use the planks and the different shapes. Do I really want anything that's going to grow on its own? Probably not. I wish you could trim vines to stop them from growing, but unfortunately you can't. Now this to me looks like where Cyan is going to spend all of their diamonds. Skulk is arguably the best block in the game. This is such a nice texture for backgrounds, but also interesting pops of darkness with animation. It's just, I absolutely love it. And then we have the Skulk bits that we can add on as well. I don't think I want to use Skulk sensors just because they're annoying, hearing the sounds. However, I think we can get away with this being a cyan block. I know it's got these kind of ivory colours on it, but it still feels like there's a bit of cyan in here. So I think it's nice to have some colours that we'll be buying expensive things. I'll probably buy a lot of the more expensive things that I can find so that I'm not just using, 8 full shulkers of blocks for the build. Especially with wood, you buy one stack of logs, you can turn that into 4 stacks of planks. That's just too many blocks. So things like this that are a little bit rarer, I think I would like to buy maybe 4 stacks. And then let's also get 4 stacks of Skulk. Now I did notice here we also have sea lanterns, 2 diamonds per stack. That's not a bad price. We're not leaving cyan with much, but I think these all go together nicely. It's nice to have a light source as well. I was imagining I would be building just like a traditional shop, but we might have to go a little bit weirder. Do you see what I mean? What I said earlier, where it's like, yes, it's a grey background, but you see these amazing pops of colour with the shops that get built. And this looks to be very interesting. So if we want to go the full fantasy route, red mushroom blocks might be a good idea for the red block. Obviously I've just built the red area, so red blocks are kind of the one thing I'm very aware of at the moment. Now my only problem with frog lights here is they are so cheap, which is a fun problem to have. Shroom lights, on the other hand, 2 diamonds for 32. That's more the kind of price I'm looking for. That's actually a really good deal as well. Shroom lights are not fun to collect. I'd be interested in the warp blocks, but I think we can't afford it now. We've only got 1 diamond left for cyan. And the crimson logs, I think it probably goes with the Skulk, strangely enough. I see a lot of fantasy houses that have witches hats on and stuff like that, and I feel like crimson and amethyst and skulk are often used in those builds. So yeah, I like this. I think we'll use this for. Although for my base, I think I'm going to put crimson in pink, like a dark pink. So let's actually do that. It might actually be really fun to use pink for just wood. So we could use crimson and cherry wood and mix those two together as kind of, opposites, dark and light, yin and yang, that type of thing. And for red, yeah, let's get some mushroom blocks. We haven't bought any red things yet. Definitely feels like I'm leaning towards fantasy here. But we'll see what else we can find. So we could get a lot of moss. We could also get azalea for decoration. If we want we could almost have a garden area. Would that fit a gift shop, like a fantasy gift shop? Maybe. But again, I know this is a weird thing to complain about. They're so cheap. Things are too cheap. But maybe and this is just moss on both sides, isn't it? So I think we will get 2 stacks of moss, and then we'll get 1 stack of azalea and 1 stack of mossy cobble. So that's a nice selection of greens so far. Let's just pause and take a moment to enjoy the day. How are we all doing? This is definitely a very chill episode, but I hope you're still enjoying it. Well, look, and now we're in the nether. Nope, we're just in the mall. It's coming soon, but yeah, this will be a nice shop. I'm a big fan of banners in Minecraft, and I love this kind of art gallery style display here. This I don't want to go near because this is water magic. I'm going to leave that one alone. Ooh, all leaves coming soon. I think Green wants to buy some leaves. Yeah. Let's buy 1 stack of oak and 1 stack of birch. If we're doing some kind of garden area outside, I think that will be really nice. And the last shop here is, I wonder what this shop sells. I was hoping it would be emerald blocks. 1 diamond for 7 emerald blocks. You know what? That's a nice little detail that we can add. We like expensive things here. So that's it for the mall. Now it's time to check out the medium shops. So Mia's shop here, I believe, sells a lot of wood. This is where I got a lot of the mangrove for the red part of my base. 1 diamond per stack for mangrove is just crazy. My word, she has been busy. If we go for the crimson wood here, we could have kind of a bit of a gradient between crimson and then mangrove and then cherry. I mean, gradient's the wrong word, but these 3 colours do kind of go together, and we could mix them up in patterns and have some fun that way. It's here. I've got to buy it. There's nothing to stop me from buying that. And I realise that I could have bought the crimson cheaper here, but I don't mind. I don't mind spending in different shops. Diamonds are there to be used. I've just noticed the sheep graffiti here. Oh, that's great. So let's follow the paths up here first. Okay, terracotta. That could be good. So this might be one to return to when we have a few diamonds left. It's such a nice block, and it's such an inoffensive block that it kind of goes with anything. So I think we will be back here. And I always like to do my part for lag prevention. Now sand is an interesting one because that's quite a calm yellow block. This is a lovely shop. 1 diamond for 2 stacks of red sand. We could convert it into sandstone. So let's get 4 stacks of this, and then we'll have a stack of red sandstone. Bees and bushes. Okay. Oh, honeycomb. I can't remember how you make a honeycomb block. Is it just a 4x4? Oh. Yeah. I'm definitely buying this. I just need to know who is buying it. Is this an orange or is this a yellow? In this instance, I think I'm going to put this in the yellow. Until I put it next to this block of gold and realised it looks orange. And now if we put this in here, it still kind of looks orange. Okay. We could buy some more leaves as well, but I think we'll leave that for now. Oh, I'm so funny. And what do we have here? Ooh. I'm probably just going to pass. As much as I like coral, I just don't think I want to work with it again. At least not anytime soon. We could buy some concrete. I really don't think concrete goes with any of the things that we've bought so far. So this here is actually one of the portals. So this is considered like one of the edges maybe, or one of the important areas of the district. And there's nothing here. So these are the shops that we were just looking at down here. So this might be an interesting place to build the shop. I know someone has claimed the top of this hill. I am tempted to claim this area within the path here. Maybe we knock this down. Maybe we keep this and have like a shop that goes up and then across and then sits, part of it sits on top of there, like on the second layer. I think this is the best spot we've seen so far. So we did miss a couple shops over here. This lantern build here is for a cave lighting service. So I guess if I need my shop to be lit up, I might spend a diamond there. And then here is the Christmas themed shop that was built late October, early November. Far too early. However, it sells redstone. So now we're heading back across here, and we can see some of the bigger shops looming in the distance. I mean, even in the rain, this is just stunning, right? These builds are so impressive. And I think this one here is going to have a lot of things that could be interesting. Oh, I mean, amethyst? I'm sold. So I definitely want to build with amethyst. I say we grab 4 stacks, and maybe the big clusters as well. Coloured glass upstairs. Yeah, we will need windows. I hadn't really thought of that. We'll have to think about what colour glass to use, because I don't want any non-coloured blocks in this build at all. I want it to be built out of exactly what we have bought. And then I think up here is where all of the coloured blocks are. Yes. Look at this. Oh, we could try and make purple work. Do we want to try that? I feel like this is the type of build to try and make that work. Right. So let's just spend 1 diamond. Some people might be watching this and thinking, wow, he must have some master plan of what this build is going to be like. Nope. I have absolutely no idea. I did mention that we've got the 3 different pinky red wood types. So I think pink glass might be the way to go. So I think what we'll do here is we will take these 2 diamonds, we will buy some pink glass, and then I'll probably turn that into panes so that we can have some more windows. It's just for windows, so 64 should actually be plenty. And then pink is actually done. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going through these and trying to find anything that's, not just a dyed block, but something a bit more interesting. Like magma blocks for orange. It's kind of like an orange and a very dark orange. I would call this red, but we can pretend. Now, this is interesting. We have 2 different types of ice here. Blue ice and packed ice. They're both quite expensive, but we haven't got a single blue thing. So I think we get a stack of both. Oh, we've got some. Yeah, we have. Okay, this is maybe my second favourite block, and I'm really sad that there's only 1 stack. But we are definitely getting that, and there's no obsidian, which is a shame. One of the reasons I want to limit myself to exactly what's in the shopping district is because that limitation is fun, right? I don't get to choose exactly what we build out of. I am in part limited by what the shops have to offer. Wind elevator. Okay. Oh. These modern builds are crazy. Okay. Ooh. Do we have more here? We do have more here. Yes. My dreams have come true. And this crying obsidian amethyst combination is something that I have used before. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to continue using it. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, we'll save that last diamond for if we see anything else exciting. We could spend the last diamonds on getting some more clusters here. Yeah, I'm going to make that decision, actually. So we have found a shop here where warped stem is 1 diamond per stack. So I think that can be our last cyan diamond. I think I might actually use the stripped stems here rather than turn it into the planks, because we are going for the pink, purple, red plank theme. But that is cyan now fully spent. There are some other woods that we can look into, like bamboo. I'm really not a fan of the yellow bamboo blocks themselves, but I do like the green. How are we looking for green? We've got 4 diamonds left. We've got 4 diamonds and we bought quite a lot. So one of the benefits of the bamboo blocks is you can make cactus. So that is enough for me. I've seen some interesting builds this season from other people where they use bamboo with some other colour blocks, and it can be interesting. So that is now green, fully spent. So now I'm going to fly around and see if I've missed any shops. Ooh, is this one open? Oh, it definitely looks like it's selling quite a lot of interesting things. I'm seeing colours, which is good news to me. Do you know, I still haven't done a trial chamber. I might do some adventuring in an episode soon. Technically, this is a grey block, but of all the ores, I feel like this is one that actually, like, at a glance, you see the colour. Right, you see the blue even though it's a grey block. And so now I think I've looked at every shop. I just have 3 colours that I need to buy for. But this is definitely my favourite community area this season so far. So orange, I was hoping for some copper. I don't think I saw anyone selling non-oxidized copper. I might have another look around, but we'll see. Yellow is a struggle. If I'm not using bamboo, yellow is a struggle. And I don't want to use bamboo, so I might just have to buy some more gold. And I could buy some glowstone. Maybe we go gold and glowstone. And then for red, we could genuinely have mushrooms, like, growing out of the build. So I feel like mushroom is the tempting one. Okay, so we will buy some glowstone here, and then we'll finish this off by buying some more gold. Not the wildest selection from yellow, but I think it could work. And I've just seen here, I'm just blind. There is copper here, and we've got 4 diamonds. We can buy 1 stack of copper, or we could buy some grates, but I think we'll go for the grates. It's a more interesting, we get less blocks, but it's a more interesting shape. Could even use that for one of the windows if we really wanted. And then, you know what? Autumn special, jack-o'-lanterns, more light. Why not? This is a cool selection. But yeah, I'm a fan of this. I think this is a good choice. And then we will buy some more mushrooms here. And then we have 2 more diamonds to spend. And I think I might actually spend these on terracotta. We didn't really need to buy many dyed blocks, which is nice. But I think finishing this off with terracotta will go nicely. I think that with the mushrooms, maybe with some of the mangrove walls, I think that will be a nice touch. So I definitely still like the idea of building here. And let's take a look at what we have bought. So to start with, we have these red blocks here. For orange, we're not going to get that many blocks, especially because we're going to convert the red sand to red sandstone. Yellow is very much the same. Green, quite an impressive haul here. We will convert the emeralds to blocks. If we look at cyan, this is a very interesting one. For blue, we don't have very much here at all. Purple, this is a very interesting one. And then lastly, we have pink, which will be the majority of the structure. So all in all, we don't have that many blocks, but we've got a nice variety, and I think we'll be able to create something interesting. So here you can see me trying to lay out a rough shape of the first floor. I thought it might be fun to have a bit of a curved section near the mound at the back. I then started pillaring up with the bamboo, and of course, as Phantom's law dictates, once you start pillaring up, phantoms will spawn. But I did like the idea of the main pillars being made out of bamboo. Then I started working on the walls. First, I tried this kind of snaky lines thing where each of the 3 colours were basically equal, but I wasn't a fan of how that looked. Then I tried to make some bricks, mostly using mangrove and crimson with the occasional cherry. But the pink is so bright compared to the other 2, I wasn't happy with this. So I decided to try and swap the pink for some other blocks. Some experiments were better than others. The terracotta was nice, but I preferred the contrast of the warped. And we don't talk about the purple. This was the point where I realised I'd miscounted and this corner of the walls didn't make sense for the brick pattern. And so to make things easier, I decided to make the curved section be made out of vertical colours, not bricks. At this point I was quite happy with the wood brick walls. It's flat, but that can be fixed. I also decided to make the rest of this curved section a circle on the outside. I decided that this room would be higher up, but I would use the underneath to use some of our planty green blocks. I then thought it might be a fun idea to use some of the orange light blocks as some kind of border around the edge. And then I had to decide what to do with the circle. First I thought it would be fun to have an open part, so I did these kind of webbed skulk bits between the bamboo. And you can tell this is really when the weird started taking over. I decided this room would be entered from the other side, so I gave it a skulk floor, and a sea lantern crystal thing in the middle. So this bit is almost like it's an outdoor garden area. I considered building a roof on top, but decided to just cap the bamboo with shriekers. But then I needed to figure out how to add more rooms onto this building because I still had a lot of blocks left over. So I planned this square area up above. I then decided to use the red mushroom blocks for this area, with some terracotta stems branching up. The mushrooms would also serve as the floor for this part of the shop. Redstone blocks on the supports were a nice detail to match up to the mushroom, and I decided to use more of those across the build. I decided I didn't like the squareness and chose to round off 2 of the 4 corners. And this was the trickiest part. I had a few different types of blocks left and 0 clue how to use them. So I decided to go for these kind of crystal pillars for the roof. That way I could use up the amethyst and obsidian as well as the ice and lapis ore. And I wish I could describe how I was trying to build these, but honestly it was mostly just chaos. I wanted it to be like lots of different crystals popping up, but I also needed to be quite sparing with my blocks. And at this point I realised I was running out of amethyst, so I decided to introduce some glowstone. Does this build make any sense? No. Is it incredibly ugly? Yes. Am I glad I built it far away from most other shops? Absolutely. But we're not done yet. I hadn't used the cherry wood yet, so I decided to make this alternating log and plank roof. I also hadn't used the purple, so chose to use those for the stairs up to the weird crystal room. I then worked on the floor area. The idea here was to have little flowers with glowstone and bamboo for lighting, and then I decided to use stripped logs, the same wood used for the walls, for the rest of the floor. I needed a way up to the skulk garden area, so I opted to use some orange blocks I had left over, including the copper grates for a ladder up. I also wanted to bring some blue into this room, so I used this space to add an ice platform. I hadn't used any of the leaves, so I decided to add a little bit of greenery to the front, as well as more greenery beneath the skulk area. And the final step was to finish the roof here and add in a couple of windows. Now, it's been a couple of days since I built this, and I have thoughts. Mostly negative ones. The project was the opposite of trust the process. Judge the process. Be wary of the process. Blink twice if the process is holding you hostage. I hoped if I leaned into the weird, it would come across as intentionally odd, but ultimately, I think it just looks bad. So Sid, be honest with me. What do you think of this? What's that? Look in the luggage shulker. Okay. We don't need to go that extreme, but I think I agree with Sid. I think it needs to go. So, what have we achieved in this episode so far? Well, we spent 72 diamonds. Yep, that's it. So, it's been a few days now, and I have both designed and built the new shop. But before I show you the build, I'd like to make some stock to sell. I think this video could do with a break from the shopping district. So first of all, we have the banners that we were already selling. I'm a big fan of these and people seem to like them, so I will make more copies and we will add more of those to the shop. But I have also made some coloured t-shirts for the different teams, as well as some horse t-shirts. Now, you may have noticed that these here have coloured names, and they also have the text at the bottom where it says support banner for the Colourlympics. That is because we have the name formatting station data pack. So if you've never seen that used before, I will show you how that works. So to start with, we just need to name the item like normal, and then we can type trigger format name into the chat, and we get all of these different options. So we can change how the text is formatted, so italics, bold, strike through, all that kind of thing. We can change the colour of the text, and then we can change where the text appears. So by copying from another item, we can add something to the law, we can add something to the name to make a name that's, twice as long, and we can also copy. So first we will select the colour, and you may have noticed my experience went from 22 to 21. The way that this is set up is that you use one level for every action that you take. So now we have a named item, but I want to add some law to this item as well. And what that means is we need another item. I think I'll just use a golden carrot for this. And we need to give this one a name. So we'll call this one Colourlympics Fan T-shirt. And then we can use the same formatting to change the colour. But here is the important bit. If we put that in our offhand, and then do offhand to law, it will then add that text underneath. The final mechanic to show is we can actually copy everything from this t-shirt here. So if we do copy from offhand name, it will copy the name, so we're not having to spend a level naming it and spend a level colouring it. We can just do both of those in one action by copying. And then we can do the same with the law. So that is one of the reasons that I have an extra t-shirt in each colour. This will be the one that we copy from, and then these 9 will be the ones that we sell in our shop. Now it is 2 experience levels per copy, because we had to copy 2 things. However, when you trade with villagers, you get 4 or 5 levels just for the first trade. So what I like to do is do 1 trade, then do 3 or 4 things, then another trade, then 3 or 4 more things. And you can go through quite a lot of item naming very quickly that way. But I do have 6 shulkers of items to name, so I will be here a while. So here are all the t-shirts now. You can see I also added a little emoji in the name. If you're ever wondering how to do that, I just literally Google thing emoji, so in this case shirt emoji, and then copy and paste what shows up. I found that doing it from Google seems to make it more likely to paste into Minecraft. They don't all work, sometimes it just shows up as a square, but a lot of the time it does work. And I did the horse shirts as well. I put in the description that it's a horse jacket, but something about horse shirt just makes me laugh. So these are all done. They're all ready to go into the shop. So let's head on over to the shopping district. And here we have the shop. I decided to opt for something a lot less crazy than what we were building. I still wanted the shape to be quite interesting, and I still wanted to include the colours, but in a much more subtle way. If you come inside, you can see that we've got quite a lot of space here. I tried to make this an even build so that we have a lot of areas with 8 spaces for the 8 colours. I think here we'll probably put a lectern down with the instructions, maybe an ender chest. I think along here I want the donation barrels so that people can see the items that have been donated. Maybe on this side we'll have the banners for sale, and then upstairs here we again have lots more space for selling things. I might do some interiors in here, maybe like a chandelier or something, but for now I'm pleased with how this looks. I think the addition of the colours is nice with the windows. We do have all 8 colours here. And I especially like this strange little corner here, which doesn't serve much of a function. But again, it's nice to get these blocks in here. So now let's show you everything that is in here. So to start off, we have the donation wall. I've moved all the donations from the other shop that I had, the temporary one. So you can see here all the fun things that people have donated to the different teams. And I've written books here, or I've started books where players can come along and sign the book so they can write their name to show that they are a supporter rather than everything being anonymous. You don't have to do this, but if you'd like to show your support, you can come along and write your name in the book. Now over here, this is where we are selling these banners that we already had. You can see them here. So now the idea is you take whichever gifts you want, and then when you finish off, you donate over here. So rather than putting the donations in here, we collect it all into this section here. And if we come on up these stairs, we can see that we have the t-shirts and the horse shirts. So now that's it. I much prefer having things in a full shop like this than what we had before. And if we ignore the first 29 minutes of this video, I think this is a successful shop. Now, because I've spent most of my time in the shopping district, we don't have many Colourlympics events to check up on, so I think today we will just head over to the Creeper Farm. I have AFK'd at this Creeper Farm a few times over the last few episodes, and so the scores are higher than they have ever been before. If you didn't see the episode, the way this works is the creepers have 8 different options of where to fall down in the farm, and those 8 options score a point for each individual colour. And if we look at the scores, we can see that yellow managed to get first place, and that is their first time medaling in this event. Lots of people will be happy to see that cyan got silver place, which is their best result in this event, and red rounded off the top 3 in 3rd place. And so now, if we look at the overall table, things have got very interesting at the top. Yellow has leapfrogged pink, blue and red, going from 4th place all the way to the top with that gold medal. Red has inched slightly closer to the other two, and cyan is trying to catch up. Unfortunately, orange, purple and green are still lagging behind. But there will still be plenty of events to go in this season, so there is every opportunity for them to catch up. But now, a game that you can play. Let's head on over to the Connections game. And here is the Connections puzzle from last episode. As always, the goal is to find 4 different groups of 4. And the first group is very easy to spot. However, unfortunately, I put 7 of them in here. This is types of wood. So we can't solve that one yet, so let's try and figure out the other categories. Now, no rain stands out to me, armadillo, spotted wolf. These are all things to do with the savanna biome, so we can fit acacia into that category. Then I noticed that we have some biomes here, plains, beach, meadow, so we can fit jungle into that one. Now we're still left with 5 types of wood, but if we look at the other 3 categories, we've got apple, we've got pumpkin, and we've got melon. Out of these 5, which fits with that? It has to be cherry. And this is fruit, or things named after fruit, like the wood. And yes, pumpkin is a fruit, botanically speaking. And that means that our 4 woods are dark oak, birch, spruce, and oak. So this one was quite interesting because ideally you had to solve the easiest part of the puzzle last. And here is the next puzzle. As always, you can find this in the description. Do play along, do let me know how you do. The clues this time are thunder, pink petals, aqua affinity, brown mushroom, screaming goat, blue ice, orange tulip, curse of binding, brown panda, skeleton horse, red sand, pink sheep, channeling, blue axolotl, flame, and fire. So good luck to everyone who gives this a try. And so that's it for today's episode. It was a bit of a change of pace, and it was mostly a failure, but hopefully you still enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. And I do enjoy showing the failures. You know, a lot of people watch YouTube videos where you only see the end product, and it can often feel unattainable because you don't see the struggles and you don't see the failures and the difficulties along the way. So I'm always a fan of showing those in my videos. But hopefully you enjoyed seeing the end result here, and if you have any ideas of what I could sell in the shop, do let me know. As always, thanks for watching and take care.